Hey everybody, welcome to DadsDen of Pop Culture and Justice League Monday. We have made it, starting at issue 1 in January. We have now made it to issue 41 from August of 1990 of Justice League America and issue 17 of Justice League Europe, also from August of 1990. Let's take a look first at Justice League America. Now, this is one of those sort of light filler issues because we had just ended a multi-part story involving Despero, and it was pretty heavy, ending with the death, or at least apparent death, of Mr. Miracle. And we're going to soon be heading into a new phase of Justice League America with some new recruitment. We'll see how that goes. But for now, we're looking at Maximum Force. Now, we have seen that Maxwell Lord has a sort of superpower. He can manipulate people. He can give them a mental push into doing something that he wants them to do. And that's what this is going to be about as he admits this now, reveals it to John Jones. As he says, and that's a story, John. That gene bomb hit me like a bomb. Astonishing, you paranormal. Keep it under your hat, all right? It's nothing I'd like to go public with. I don't wear a hat, Max, but I'll do my best. Now, that gene bomb he's talking about was in the Invasion maxi series that they did. In this story, by the way, Keith Giffen, J.M. DeMatteis, Mike McKone, B.D. Patterson, Bob Lappin, Gene D'Angelo, Kevin Dooley, and Andy Helfer as Harry Von Zell. Who is Harry Von Zell? I'm not going to tell you, but I do know who it is. Okay, so what we get here, and we're going to run through this one relatively quickly, is Max sort of, he's dealing with having this power and the moral and ethical ramifications of using it. He ends up going to a party, and one of the things he talks about here with John is that, he's changed. He's not quite the same guy he was when he first set up the League, which John just says. He goes, "You really have changed a lot. I have noticed, and I'm damn proud of you." I'm trying, John. That's all any of us can do. So he's kind of musing on this as he heads to this, sort of party, gathering, what have you, because it's the kind of stuff, a lot of backstabbing between corporate bigwigs that he used to love, that he doesn't really love anymore. And he meets, well, at least he sees this woman here, absolutely enchanted with her, and he wants to meet her. He wants to have a conversation. And he doesn't want to use his power, although he does use it just to sort of break the ice. Because he says, as much of a communicator as he is, as much of a con man as he is, he gets tongue-tied around women. So he uses his push just to get her to open the conversation, and he's chatting with her. She's incredible. But this party, on the other hand, do you want to? My thoughts exactly. And he leaves with her. Okay. Well, he leaves with her, and he is a little bit drunk because, again, he was kind of nervous. And he manages to get the key into the keyhole there and get into the house, or his apartment, I guess I should say. Probably a penthouse, of course. And he falls over. And when he falls over, who does he see but some super villainous type called Lord Evil? Well, actually, I was considering calling myself Baron Evil. I'm not sure which one's better. For a couple of days there, I almost called myself Captain Evil, but I thought that was too corny, so I'm sorry I asked. I have come for the JLA's secrets so that I might destroy them. Okay, so this guy has entered Max's penthouse, and he wants the secrets of the JLA so he can destroy the JLA, not actually their secrets. And he says, "You dare to threaten me? Darn right I do." Whoa, Max is getting a little bit assertive here. "Now, take your hands off of me." Right, hands off. Leave. Right, leave. I'm out of here. And watch that first step. It's a killer. And the guy literally steps out the window and falls. Don't think that guy can fly. Blast. My little fall when we came in disoriented me. I almost let that fiend get me. Max? Max, I don't understand. Then perhaps it's time you did, sweet Wanda. Tonight, you thought you met a man, handsome, filthy rich, urbane, and disgustingly charming, but a man nonetheless. It's time you learned that I am more than a man who's made a vow to war on evil wherever it rears its head. You mean, yes, Wanda, I'm not just billionaire playboy Max Lord. I'm Maximum Force. You're kidding, right? A true hero never kids. And he says, and I'm afraid I have to leave you because I have to go out and fight crime. And that's what this is about. Him in his guise as Maximum Force with his jetpack, jetting around town, stopping evil. Here, he tells a mugger to, the world would be better without you. And he does, well, you can kind of see what he's doing there. And then he basically gets these two guys involved in a drug deal to start shooting at one another. And when he runs off to Justice League headquarters for a meeting, first he deals with this guy who is the masked robber, as he calls himself. He deals with this giant ape climbing up a building, who gets him to basically fall off the building. And then he goes and deals with this guy who has obviously defeated the entire Justice League. I've waited years for this moment, the moment when Maximum Force dies at Massive Tron's hands. Now, wait a minute. I've waited years for this moment. Hold on a second. Well, we'll see in a moment. I warn you, Massive Tron, if you've hurt my friends, and I was not late. Oh, they keep arguing whether he was late for the meeting or not. For now, they're simply unconscious. But once I've destroyed you, they'll all die horribly. And you were too late. Was not, were to, drop dead. And because of his power, Massive Tron drops dead. Whoops, Max. Now, this is interesting because whoops, Max, with a little question mark, I'm pretty sure he was supposed to say whoops in this panel, but they didn't actually put that in. Is that all you can say? Oh, hi, guys. Guess I saved all your lives, huh? You murdered Massive Tron, huh? Oh, well, yeah, I guess I did. Funny how that happened. Drop dead. I told him, and he did. I didn't really mean to say that, It just sort of slipped out. Oh, please. That's the lamest excuse I've ever heard. And believe me, I've tried some pretty lame excuses in my time. You've disgraced us, Max. Your actions contradict everything the League stands for. Hey, now, wait a minute. I told you, it was just a figure of speech. I didn't mean to. And, of course, then they run off the litany of all the people that he's managed to kill this night with his super power. And the police arrives. It was just a figure of speech. He's out of the League. It was harmless. I was nervous. I just wanted to get the conversation rolling. Now he's talking about that woman. I'm sorry. I'll never do it again. I've learned my lesson. I know that with great power comes great responsibility. I know that. I know. No, he wakes up. Yeah, it was a dream. Basically, he did actually fall over when he came in because he was drunk. And actually, really nicely, Wanda, put him to bed and took the guest room. And, wow, I'll think about this later. My head's splitting. I'm going to take 2 Tylenol and get right back into, don't do that. He's talking to the phone ringing. Hello? What's wrong, Max? You sound awful. You feel awful, too. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Of course we can reschedule the budget meeting. It's of no pressing. What's that? A giant what? No. I think we'd know about something like that. Max, are you sure you're all right? I see. All right. Goodbye, Max. Something wrong with Max? No, I don't think so. He's simply feeling a trifle under the weather. And he did want to know if we'd had any reports about giant apes. Giant. And then he told me that he was in love. I just hope he isn't the Oh, I just hope it isn't the ape he's in love with. Why on earth did I even bother asking? So there we go. We have Max having this dream about misusing his power because he's kind of conflicted about the whole thing. It actually advances the character a little bit along the way. It's not just done for humor, but it's primarily a funny episode here of the Justice League. Next, the Justice League's latest membership drive begins. Don't miss Opportunity Knocks, complete with guest stars aplenty. All right. So, kind of run through this one really quickly because there's not a whole lot of importance to it. It's one of those in-between issues, kind of between major storylines that we used to get in comics. Now, Justice League Europe, on the other hand, a little bit more important. Party time at Ground Zero, because they're dealing with the Extremists. And it opens, and I should say, done by Giffen, Jones, Sears, Elliott, Lappin, D'Angelo, Dooley, and Helfer. It opens at the end of the fight that we saw last issue, where, frankly, they trounced the Justice League and the Rocket Reds, and then sort of teleported away. So, not the greatest showing for Justice League Europe. Now, how come Dr. Fate can't do that? Just zap away like that. I mean, hell of a time saver. Maybe she or he will with time, but he's still pretty inexperienced. So they're talking about the fact that Dr. Fate is now a combination of the minds of a woman and a man, but sometimes it's the woman's body and sometimes it's the man's body, and you get the idea. Well, what are they going to do? Well, before they get to decide what they're going to do about the Extremists act. We see a nuclear facility in Kansas where all of a sudden their missiles launch. There was nothing they could do about it. It's a test, isn't it? Please tell me it's a test. That'd be a pretty frightening thing to see. And the same thing happens in the Soviet Union. And then we see this guy here. Every damn nuke in the world is up there. Ours, theirs, even India's, even Iraq's. Okay, you're going, wait, Iraq? Well, okay, it was 1990. There was some poor intelligence at the time. All up at once, just floating up there. What the hell is going on? Tell me what the hell is going on. And we see the president being briefed, etc. Well, what's going on is this guy right here, Dr. Diehard. Now, last time around, I was musing on who is who in terms of these being Marvel supervillains. I thought he might be Dr. Doom. No, he is Magneto, in fact. This dude over here is Dr. Doom. I thought it was a robot like Ultron. It's a guy in a suit. Okay, we find that out in this one. So, essentially, this DC version of Magneto has lifted all of Earth's nuclear missiles up into the air, holding them over us like the sword of Damocles. The Earth is essentially theirs. And that's exactly what ultimately happens, is they send their ultimatum. My name is Lord Havoc, leader of the Extremists. You have never had the privilege of meeting us, but we plan to make up for lost time. You've no doubt noticed the forest of nuclear missiles floating above you, pointing down at you. Well, we control those missiles. We control your world. Any military attempts to destroy those missiles will result in your annihilation. Any attempt to find us will result in your annihilation. Any attempt by superheroes to defeat us, well, that might be entertaining. We had a fine old time with that bunch in the place you call Moscow. Governments of Earth, you have 24 hours. 24 hours to offer your total surrender. And, of course, that's being watched by Sue Dibney and Catherine. That bunch in Moscow, a fine old time. Kath, I don't have a bad feeling. I have a really horrible feeling. Well, essentially, we see Maxwell Lord, I think that's him, talking in the UN. Yeah, it is him. And saying, look, I can send my guys after him, but it's up to you. They're arguing over what they should do about this threat, as they will tend to do when the Extremists show up. To defeat the bad guys, is that it? You haven't grasped it yet, have you? You just haven't. We've destroyed one world already. We'll do the same to this one without batting an eye. That's telling him, LH. Nonetheless, we are not insensitive. We know what a difficult decision this must be for you. That's why we have come here now, to help. Wait, listen to me. Sure, that's it. We're going to educate you, kind of show you the light. If you want to help us make this decision, don't terrorize us. Give us time enough to give us enough time to talk this out. I think this guy makes sense. Maybe we ought to slip out and rustle up a little trouble, just to keep our minds busy, while they keep our minds busy. So they basically put a whammy on Max, do some damage to his mind. Not good, you see there. Ugh. And they basically tell everybody, look, this is the deal. You accept it or you're all going to die. And we then see a kind of a montage of superheroes getting this news. We see Superman, explaining that the stakes are too high to take risks. Blast it. The General Assembly, I'm not focusing that well because I'm trying to look at it and anyways at the same time. The General Assembly, let me read it first. The General Assembly has acquiesced to the Extremists' primary demand. And Batman says, cowards. And forbidden all interference in the Conqueror's actions. And there we see Robot Man, damn him. Particularly by metahumans. And we see Hal Jordan. So what are we going to do? Requests are being sent to all superheroes worldwide. What can we do? That they remain in their homes or headquarters. Our hands are tied. And attend to all subsequent bulletins. Well, it makes perfect sense to me. That's little Elron. In case they are needed to maintain order. No sense at all. Earth won't fight. And we see a little bit of Peacemaker there, because this is when Peacemaker became more prominent in the DC universe, primarily in Checkmate. He shows up a lot in there. Then we get this weird comic ad for a caveman, or a cave boy, I guess I should say. So the Justice League Europe now, back in their headquarters, is trying to figure out what they're going to do. And, what can they do? Well, they got trounced. And Captain Adam's like saying, look, we went in there, we were too cocky, we didn't have good planning. If we go in with better tactics, we might be able to get a better result. Well, they have Blue Jay, who has dealt with the Extremists before on his world. And they say, look, tell us everything you know about these guys. You're not well enough to go into battle, but you can give us the intelligence we need to take these guys out. And then we see the Extremists. They have set up their headquarters in Israel. Why Israel? Well, come on. Armageddon. That's kind of what they're going for here. They've built this giant palace for themselves, and they're feeling pretty good when who shows up but the Justice League. And the first thing that happens is Lord Havoc is encased by Metamorpho in copper to cancel out his powers. Now, is that a smart thing to do? Well, we'll find out in just a moment. Here comes Captain Atom. Here comes Rocket Red. The whole crew going in. And this time, they're trying to pick their targets a little bit better. They have Flash trying to keep, what's it called? Dream Mangler? I can't think of that dude's name. Oh, Dream Slayer, sorry. They're keeping him busy because he's the one they actually fear the most with his magic powers. The rest of them, they're putting up a really good fight. Inside Metamorpho, you see Dr. Diehard saying, Missus. Hey, you, pipe down in there. Is in Missus. Like, what the heck is he trying to say in there? Well, when they cut off his power, the missiles start falling. And he's like, Captain Adam is like, oh my God, we thought they were orbital. We didn't think. No, clearly you did not. Rex, let him go. So they have to let Die Hard go to stop all the missiles from hitting Earth. And he uses his powers, pushes them to the most extreme, and manages to do it. But in all the confusion, what happened? Flash stopped keeping Dream Slayer busy. And he uses his powers to send the Justice League to their world, the world that was destroyed, to give the Silver Sorceress a little bit of company. You know, it's funny. Whenever I thought about being projected into a hideous limbo by an inhuman sorcerer, I never pictured it looking like this. Yeah, just like New York City, only cleaner. So, the Justice League gear up a rather failed attempt at stopping the Extremists, and they now find themselves on the Extremists' world and trapped. And Earth is still under their domination. Well, there you have it, folks. Justice League America number 41, a light tale of Max Lord dealing with his new powers, or at least dealing with what might come from having those powers. And Justice League Europe number 17, part 2 of their fight against the Extremists, easily the most powerful threat that they've ever faced. Oh, except for that crazy cat that keeps showing up. That will do it for this one, folks. Let me know in the comments what you think of these issues. Like them, hate them, whatever it might be. I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Maybe subscribe to the channel. Maybe share with a friend. That would be very cool. But in the meantime, God bless everybody. Please be kind to one another. Have a little bit of fun out there. And I will see you again, hopefully soon, in Dad's Den of Pop Culture. Bye-bye.